So we got ourselves a Western, a black Western, a revenge flick. Quite a good Western too. It's got all the right mix, the right formula for all the things that are necessary to make an engaging, entertaining Western revenge film. All supported by an incredible cast of characters. Actors playing those characters. Many of which are actually real characters. Story's fictional, but the characters are real. Anyway, we're going to get into it on this edition of That Guy Talks Movies next. Welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I'm that guy talking movies, and on this episode, we're going to talk about the heart of their fall. I'm going to lose the hat and go with my regular voice for this. It'll be much more enjoyable for you that way. So The Heart of They Fall, Western, premiered in theaters October 22nd, and it premiered on Netflix today, November 3rd, and I'm just seeing it on Netflix. I didn't see it in the movie theater, so that's why this review is going up today as opposed to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever. This is a film done by Jeymes Samuels, who co-wrote, produced, directed, and did some of the score for this film. Interestingly enough, this is also produced by Sean Jay-Z Carter, James Lasseter, who is Will Smith's producing partner at Overbrook Entertainment. I think Overbrook actually produced this flick, and Lawrence Bender, the longtime Quentin Tarantino collaborator. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds being the last one because of that whole fallout with Miramax and Harvey Weinstein, but that's another story for a different episode. All right, let's get into the story real quick. Not going to give you too much detail. Just want to get into the basics of it. It's a revenge flick, as I said. There's a scene beginning of the movie where the young boy watches his mother and father be murdered by an outlaw. That outlaw, badass, turns out to be Rufus Buck, who's played by Idris Elba. The little boy grows up. He's played by Jonathan Majors, and that's Nat Love. So you've got two different gangs. You got the Nat Love gang, and you got the Rufus Buck gang. So Nat Love finds and kills the one dude that was with Rufus Buck when his parents got killed. He takes care of that, and then he goes to his town and kind of settles down, finds his woman, played by Zazie Beetz, the incredibly gorgeous Zazie Beetz, so I can watch over and over and over again in anything. But he settles there with his gang, he's kind of hanging out, and it seems as if he's going to leave the revenge thing. Like, from a story perspective, I was a little thrown off because he seemed like he was going to retire. Like, Rufus Buck is not here. He's in jail. Rufus Buck apparently is in prison. So he kind of leaves it at that. And in my mind, I was thinking, writing-wise, I was like, I wanted to see something where he was so determined to get Rufus Buck. And since he knew where Rufus Buck was, they were going to get the gang, go to the prison or wherever he was being held, and they were going to get him just so he can kill him. That would have been an interesting picture, but it doesn't go that way. Rufus Buck winds up getting broken out of prison by his gang, led by what's her name? Treacherous Trudy Smith. Regina Smith plays her. Only problem I had there was Regina King stands out like a sore thumb in that because her teeth are so beautiful and so white, and she's so gorgeous, and her teeth are so clean and white, and she's so pretty. She kind of stood out for me in that. But anyway, that's another whole thing. So they break out Rufus, and he returns to a town that he apparently took over, and he's kind of got held up. And then Nat Love realizes, all right, we got to go, and I got to kill Rufus Buck, and that's my mission now. And he partners up with a marshal, with Delroy Lindo, who plays the marshal. What's the marshal's name? He's a real marshal. Bass Reeves, he was like the first black deputy U.S. marshal in the West or something like that. So he partners up with him, and he gets his team together, and they're going to have a standoff, and they're going to eventually get Rufus Buck. That's what this movie's about. It's a gang versus gang kind of thing. You know where it's going. You know it's going to end up with some sort of standoff in a small town and guns blazing and someone's going to die, and that's what it's going to be. Now, that said, it's a great picture. I think it's enjoyable to watch. It has its moments. Like I said, I think some of the plot lines, some of the things, the story could have went a different direction. There's moments of downtime here where kind of the train just slows down and you're kind of waiting for it to come back up, and you're wondering when is this going to kick in and when we're going to see some action. There's some implausible things that take place as far as how the setup is and how they come into the town, and just certain things just seem a little weird, but they're forgivable simply because the performances here all around are pretty good. Like I said, you've got Idris Elba in the lead as Rufus Buck. He does a great job. Jonathan Majors is hella versatile. This guy, I remember from Loki, those was the last 1 or 2 episodes of Loki where he plays like the timekeeper dude. He's hysterical, very funny. He has a light sense to him that at the same point he could play a much heavier role like he does here. Zazie Beetz, like I said, incredible to look at. LaKeith Stanfield's probably one of the more standout. I just love LaKeith Stanfield. It feels like whatever he does, he's always good at it, even though his character in this I thought was a bitch ass. But anyway, Regina King, Delroy Lindo, RJ, Cyler, Edi Gathegi, and Danielle, Deadwyler, who plays Cuffy. Great performances, great characters all around. I think a few of them could have been fleshed out a little bit more. There's definite ode to Tarantino here by Samuels in direction and cinematography. You can feel it, you can see it. And of course, you know, Tarantino's spaghetti Western influence and Sergio Leone pictures, that's obviously, you know, where he got it from. So you can definitely feel it here, right down to certain angles that Samuels employs with some of the shots that are definite nods to Tarantino and homage to Tarantino and the spaghetti Western genre. I like the fact that it's an all black cowboy movie. I mean, it's just what it is, except until they go into the white town and the whole town is actually white. Speaking of which, production design. I think one of the other distracting elements here, besides Regina King's beautiful teeth, are the production design. The production design seemed like, you know, they've got like, it just seemed like a High School Musical. Like it seemed like a set, and it looked like a set, and it was too clean. I felt like the Mary's Saloon and some of the elements in the towns was just way too clean, and they look way too produced. There was no authenticity really paid attention to there. So I mean, slight complaint on my end. Music wise, Sean Carter again produced Jay-Z, and he does one of the tracks on here. There's some remix music, some you know, there are some tracks here that work and some that don't for some stupid reason. And go with me on this one. I don't know if it's just me. I kept wanting to hear bum 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 bum. I know Kanye, Jesus. I don't know why I kept thinking that would work in a Western. That would work in one of these scenes. Like it was just bum 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 bum. I thought that would have worked. Anyway, just me. Again, I think it's a great picture. I think there could have been more from Idris Elba. Not in terms of his performance. I think as far as writing and screen time, I would have liked to have seen more there. While he was imposing and obviously intimidating, I don't think it was enough. It could have went further. I think, so, like again, I said earlier, some of the plot lines and the way it comes together, I thought was a bit lazy, but and it could have been better. But this is an enjoyable picture. There's beautiful black actors on screen in a beautiful all black story that is engaging. It's got your gun shootouts. It's got its violence to it. You can definitely see the Lawrence Bender effect coming in there, the Tarantino effect. Not too over the top with the violence, but it is there. The performances, again, from everybody. Great characters, great performances, good action scenes. Cinematography was well done. Production design, blah, whatever, but overall good picture, worth watching. It came in theaters October 22nd. Like I said, I just saw it November 3rd on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely recommend watching this picture. It was something I'm going to own. It's something I will collect. When this makes it to 4K, I will actually want it. And I'll probably watch it again a couple more times on Netflix. So that's it for me on That Guy Talks Movies, talking Westerns, talking The Harder They Fall. If you've seen this, let me know in the comments below what you thought about the movie. If you like this video, please hit that like button, and I appreciate that. It gets the algorithm going. It gets things happening for me, and then you can kind of like keep doing these videos, and I get inspired, and you get inspired, and we all work together. So anyway, that's it on this episode. I will see you on the next one. Till next time.